With the land trust, you know, we work on a lot of projects. We've done over 600 properties, over 42, almost 43,000 acres, and that's a lot. And there's a lot of rewarding moments. You know, when I sit down at a little kitchen table on a family farm and I help an older farmer couple preserve their 8-generation family farm, it's a great feeling at the end of the day to help them facilitate that. And they're all great, but there's always those handful of projects or handful of things that we do that really rise above everything else that we've done. They have such huge significance you can hardly even wrap your arms around them. We've worked on great projects on the shores of Lake Erie, on Lake Erie Islands, and old Girl Scout camps that are just deep and rich in history that really stand out among the rest. But I think this project, the Kister Mill project, is probably the most rich in history of any project that we've ever done as a land trust. When you have the opportunity to preserve something like this and have it benefit future generations, it's just something you really can't put words around. I mean, it's something that is a priceless opportunity. It's something that you just have to do. It's something that every time I show up here, I'm like, yeah, we're doing this for all the right reasons. We're raising all this money for a good cause. It's for the right things and for the right people.
But I can remember, you know, still in the 70s, or late 60s and 70s, when it was a sawmill. And I think Commissioner Carmichael can also remember that. But you know, it's amazing when it started in 1816 and it was still, am I right on that date? Somewhere around in there? And it still was operational back in, you know, the early 70s. So to have this history here for our children and our grandchildren will be great, and I think it'll be a great asset for Wayne County, and not only for us, but everybody else to come and see the history that we have here and how industry and agriculture came together in this kind of mill.
I think it's important to know our history, to know where we came from, to know how these things work and operate. What I think would be particularly interesting is to find out, you know, just to have it as a tourist place where people can come from all around and enjoy looking at how we used to live, you know, 150 years ago. So that's what I think would be really interesting and a neat aspect for Wayne County.
Well, it's a marvel what it is, and the fact that it's still running all these years later and able to operate is a real testimony to the ingenuity of those that came before us. That's why a place like the Kister Mill is really worth preserving for future generations to see. Like I've been saying, this is renewable energy back when renewable energy wasn't a buzzword. They just took what they had available and made it work. Here they're taking water power and using it as a way to transform agricultural products into something that people can use, and that's a really neat story to tell.